Hello everyone, this is Shannon for Waffle Flower Crafts. In today's video, we are going to create a really fun interactive pop-up card using the Office Birthday stamp set and the incredible box card die. On the right here, you can see the box card die. As you can see, this die is large and it cuts out the entire box. It also comes with two tabs that make the pop-ups as well as some hearts and stars. I used that largest die to die cut two boxes out of craft paper and one out of white cardstock. And this cardstock is a low weight. You can use a heavier weight if you prefer. I'm now going to make my pop-ups. So you want to align your pop-up, the center of that pop-up, there's little notches cut in the die. You can see them there. You want to line them up with that center score line that's on the box. Once I have that pop-up in the right position, I hold it down with some purple tape and then run it through my die cutting machine. I'm going to die cut it a second time just because I have a kind of a large scene that I want to build in the inside of this pop-up. So I ran it through a second time. Now I'm just going to carefully pop out those pop-ups, just kind of get them folding the right way, and then I will fold that lid down and then grab my score tool here just to kind of press and crease all of the folds. This is actually going to be the inside of my box. One of these craft layers is going to be the exterior of my box. So I'm first going to cut off the lid, just cut it right along that score line, and now I'm going to cut right here to remove the inside part. So I just have the side and the top. So now I'm going to use my tape runner here and attach these two pieces to my white box. This die was really well designed, allowing you to take that lid and adhere it on top so you can hide your pop-ups. Now I'm going to take my second craft foam layer and just snip off that lip of the box, and I'm going to adhere that to the inside edge of my box. This is just going to create the illusion that the exterior is craft and the interior is white. I'm now going to do a little ink blending on this box just to add a little more depth and dimension and kind of bring out some of the great score lines that the die adds to the box. So I have a distress ink here. This is Vintage Photo, and I'm just using a mini ink blending tool and kind of blending on the lid, the interior lip of the lid, and then I have a scrap piece of paper here to just kind of protect the white parts of my box. I just kind of, there's a nice little edge cut in the box that allows you to kind of slide things into it. And that little bit of ink blending, I think, adds just a little bit of nice depth to that box. Now I'm going to stamp part of my sentiment on the front, on that lid. I've opened up my box here so I have a nice straight edge in my MISTI, so I can stamp it multiple times if I need to. Again, I'm going to use a distress ink. This is Vintage Photo again, and just stamp that on the top of the box. Now I've grabbed a heart from the Office Birthday stamp set and just mounted it inside of one of those keys or one of those openings in the sentiment and stamped it in Barn Door Distress Oxide. Now I'm going to move on to some of my images. So all these images are from the Office Birthday stamp set. I stamped them in Memento Tuxedo Black, except for that little heart that I stamped again, this time on the inside of that computer in Gina K red velvet ink. I'm now drawing a little suit here on this hamster. I just really wanted one of these hamsters to have a suit, so I'm just quickly drawing it with a Sharpie. It's very easy to do. And now I'm going to Copic color all these images. So I went ahead and colored all of my images off screen, die cut them out as well, just because I want the focus of this video to be on constructing that pop-up with the box card die. I'm now going to cut out or separate the keyboard from the monitor real quick with a pair of scissors. I just want the keyboard to lay flat inside my box, and to do that I have to separate them. I've grabbed my box here and I'm now going to create a little guide to help me position all of my die cuts or all my images inside of my box so they don't pop out on the edge and are visible when the box lid is shut. So I have a piece of white scrap paper here and I have a nice straight edge, and I'm going to line that edge right up with the bottom of the pop-ups. So right up against there, and then I'm going to take my pencil and just run it along the edge of the lid. This is going to create a little kind of guide or a very clear area for me to work within, so I know as far as my die cuts can go, they can go to the very edge of this little guide that I've created. And I'm going to just take my scissors and cut right along those pencil lines, and now I'm going to pop it back in right again that edge on the bottom of the pop-ups, and I'm just going to write top, bottom, right, left. That's just to help me so I don't get confused, because it's kind of hard to make heads or tails of this once it's out of the away from the box. And now I can take this and use this guide to help me kind of position my critters and basically my images. And I basically have the space to work in, which is that cardstock. That cardstock is a very clear indicator of where the edge of my critters can go. And now that I kind of know where I want all my critters to go, I'm just starting to kind of glue them in, just using some liquid glue, little dabs here and there, and just positioning all of my images that I want to be on the pop-ups. Once all my die cuts are glued in place, I can now take these cluster and kind of position them inside my box, making sure that lid can fold over and they're still hidden behind so they're in the right spot. Grab my liquid glue, add a little bit of glue to each one of my pop-ups where I think they're going to basically touch the die cuts, and then fold that lid over and hold it down just for a second to allow that glue to set up a little bit. And once I'm done, I can open my box and my pop-ups are done. That guide really does help with positioning, making sure that I can really get as many images as possible inside that box and still hidden by the lid. So I went ahead and added some of my other die cuts inside my box, just glued them right down to the center, basically all the rest of the office supplies. And now I'm going to stamp the rest of my sentiment from the office birthday stamp set inside my box in Memento Tuxedo Black. With my sentiment done, I'm now ready to kind of pull together my card. I have an A2 card base here made out of blue cardstock, and I'm going to adhere my box right to the front of that card using a tape runner here on the back side, being careful not to get any of it on that craft bit, otherwise my lid won't open on my box. So just be careful with your tape runner when you're applying your tape. And once I get that stuck down, I'm ready to add the 3 last hamsters that I colored and die cut. I've added a little bit of foam tape to the back side of each one, and I'm just going to add them at the bottom of the box here. Kind of layer them a little bit, and they just are a nice little pop of color right on the front of that card, and a nice little indicator of what might be inside. And that completes the card. I'll hold up to the camera now so hopefully you can get a good look at some of the details. I love these adorable little hamsters from the office birthday set. Such a great set, great for coworkers' birthdays. The pop-up die is just so awesome. I love the interactive element of it, and the pop-ups are so easy to use and work with. I cannot wait to make another card with that pop-up box. I hope you guys enjoyed today's card and video. If you want any more information on the products I use, please visit Waffle Flower, and you can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more creative ideas. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.